If you've ever read one of the great ancient speeches, I'm sure you've been impressed or confused, or both at the same time, and in that reaction, perhaps a certain curiosity too. A curiosity about what kind of greatness was achieved before we lived, before any of us were here to witness it. Because here's the thing, we only ever read them. The voice is gone, the room is gone, the tension that filled it, all of it gone. I believe that many of us would like to have some of these speeches reanimated. And that is precisely what I intend to do. The way I will do it is this. Before every speech, I will take you into the world it came from, the political situation, the pressures, the personalities, and then I will read the speech itself, as if I were there, carrying the argument the way it was meant to be carried, or at least to the best of my abilities, which I hope will be improving with every episode. At the same time, when we read these great old speeches, they differ so much from what we are used to. We tend to think of political speech today as noise, as something to be fact-checked and hopefully forgotten. And perhaps that's fair. But it was not always this way. There was a time when the spoken word was the most powerful weapon in the world. When a single argument, made well, in the right room at the right moment, could shift the course of history. This project is about those moments, the speeches that started wars and ended wars, the speeches that saved cities from destruction and condemned others to destruction. But it is equally about the worlds they came from, the rooms they were delivered in, the people who were listening, what they feared, what they wanted, and what they stood to lose. Because you cannot truly understand a speech without understanding its context. That is what this project is really about. Not just what was said, but what was at stake when it was said, why it landed the way it did, and what happened next because of it. So if you care about history, this is history in its most consequential form. If you care about politics, these are the arguments that your political world is still, in many ways, built on. The ideas of democracy, of empire, of justice between states, of when war is legitimate and when it is not. And if you care about how to think, how to construct an argument, and how to critically understand the arguments of others, or to anticipate a counter-argument, or how to speak to an audience that does not already agree with you, there is no better school than these speeches. The standard of political argument today is not high. The speeches delivered today tend to offer simple answers to complicated questions or degenerate into pure demagoguery. The speeches we are going to examine did the opposite. They assumed an intelligent audience. They engaged with the strongest version of the opposing argument. I believe we can learn from that, and at the same time enjoy the extraordinary stories these speeches helped to write. So, welcome. This is a channel about the speeches that shape the world. We are going to look at the history behind them, the arguments within them, and the consequences that followed them. Let's begin.